You ever wonder what really truly drives the world's most successful women? I mean, we all see the empires they build, but we hardly ever see the engine that powers them. Well, today, we're gonna decode this powerful, unseen force that can actually turn deep personal trauma into unimaginable wealth. I want you to picture this. It's 1957, rural Mississippi. There's a young girl standing on her grandma's porch, and she's not wearing regular clothes. She's dressed in a potato sack. And she has to listen to the same cruel taunts, day in and day out. And that moment of just burning shame on that porch, it didn't break her, no way. It ignited something inside her. A vow that one day the world wouldn't just see her, it would listen to her. That one moment planted a seed. So this brings us to the big question, right? We usually think of this whole chip on the shoulder thing as a male trait. But what you'll see is that for these women, the trauma often runs deeper, and the drive that comes out of it, it's just so much more potent. See, it's not just about getting rich or getting even. It's about something more primal. It's about building a fortress. So let's break down this psychological formula that converts this deep, deep need for safety into a staggering net worth. We're calling it the chip on shoulder index. And what it is, really, is this drive to build an empire so vast, so rock solid, that the world can never ever hurt you again. It's all about proofing yourself against the past by completely controlling your future. And as we analyze these billionaires, we found 4 really distinct patterns, 4 ways they weaponized their trauma. These 4 archetypes show you exactly how this whole mechanism works. Let's dive into the first one. So, the survivalist. This archetype is defined by a fear that just never goes away. Their motivation isn't really growth in the way we think about it. It's this relentless, obsessive need to put as much distance as humanly possible between them and the zero they remember all too well. So meet Zhao Kunfei. Her mother died when she was 5. Her father was blinded in an accident. By 16, she was earning $1 single a day, polishing glass in a Shenzhen sweatshop. Her survival mechanism? We call it total immersion. She literally lived in the factory. She memorized every single step of the process just to make herself indispensable. And this visual says it all, doesn't it? That fear of ever going back to that $1 a day life drove her to found Lens Technology. She got on the factory floor herself. She out-hustled absolutely everyone, and she won the contract for the Apple iPhone screen. Her fortress is literally built on a mountain of polished glass. And then you've got Zhang. She was raised during the Cultural Revolution, her family sent to re-education camps. At 14, she started working in a sweatshop for 5 years straight, saving every single penny for one thing, and one thing only: a plane ticket to England. Her entire motivation was what we call escape velocity. And for her escape, she co-founded Soho China and just completely reshaped the skyline of Beijing. I mean, look at her architecture. It's bold, it's futuristic. It is a direct visual rejection of the gray, uniform poverty she was so desperate to flee. She didn't just escape it. She built a whole new world right on top of it. Okay, let's move on to our next archetype, the Alchemist. Now this is a truly fascinating strategy. It's about taking the very thing that was a source of your humiliation and selling it back to the world as the absolute pinnacle of luxury. Think about Coco Chanel. Her father abandoned her at an orphanage right after her mother died. So she grew up surrounded by the stark, black and white habits of the nuns, this austere minimalism. You gotta understand, this wasn't a choice for her. It was the aesthetic of her poverty. But here's the genius part. She didn't try to copy the rich people with all their frills and colors. No, she made them copy her. The iconic Chanel branding, the little black dress, it is a direct download from that orphanage. She literally turned the symbols of her abandonment into the ultimate status symbols. I mean, talk about an act of pure commercial vengeance. All right, our third archetype is the Redeemer. For these leaders, their business, it's not just a business, it's therapy on a global scale. It's a way to monetize their own empathy and heal the wounds of the past by healing those same wounds in their audience. And this, of course, brings us right back to Oprah. That sacral humiliation was just one piece of a much larger story. She endured horrific abuse, horrific loss. So what was her mechanism? Radical vulnerability. At a time when every TV host was perfect and polished, she was real. She cried, she confessed, she connected. She realized her pain was her product. Harpo Productions, which, is Oprah spelled backwards,
It's not just a media company, it's a global validation engine. The voiceless girl in the potato sack became a billionaire by giving millions of people the voice she never had.
And finally, our fourth archetype, the underestimated. These are the women who were just consistently dismissed, put into a box, and told they couldn't compete. And then they turned around and used that very misjudgment as their ultimate competitive advantage. This is Diane Hendricks. She was a teen mom at 17, worked as a waitress, even a Playboy bunny to make ends meet. When she tried to start a business, banks and her peers pretty much laughed her out of the room. They just saw a pretty face, not a pragmatist. But see, she didn't care about glamour. She cared about margins.
So while everyone else was out there chasing tech unicorns, she co-founded ABC Supply, a wholesale roofing distributor. And today, the woman they all dismissed is worth over $12 billion, completely dominating one of the grittiest, most unglamorous industries in America.
So you look at all four of these archetypes, all these different stories. What is the single unifying principle? What is the psychological superpower that was forged in all this trauma?
Well, there's actually a scientific term for it. It's called desirable difficulty. For these women, their past wasn't a burden, it was a filter. And it filtered out the single biggest obstacle to success, the fear of failure. And why? Because they'd already experienced failure. They'd already been humiliated, starved, abandoned. The worst had already happened.
And this creates this incredible asymmetry. See, most people, they play defense. They're terrified of losing what they have. But if you have already survived losing everything, you can play offense with a kind of ferocity that comfortable people simply cannot match. Oprah knows the worst-case scenario is a potato sack. Zhao Kunfei knows it's a factory floor. They are not afraid to lose. So this leaves us with a final, really challenging question. We're all taught to heal our wounds, to hide our scars. But what if that's wrong? What if your greatest wound is actually meant to be your greatest weapon?
Subscribe for more content.